Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently all tied up 1-1 after our first two maps here in the series. It's looking very one-sided for Toronto at the beginning. Those last two rounds on Busan, very nicely done for them. But on Nimbani, could not find success, could not make it into point B.
Yeah, it's very back and forth at the moment. And, you know, it looked like the strength was really in the 3-3 there, and the weakness was the 3-3 for Atlanta, but then that flipped on its head on Nimbani. And I think it's just a lot of small things, like Dogman having clearly one of his better games here at Zenyatta on the range.
Yeah, fantastically done. Good substitution there for him getting put in, but we will have him stepping back. Kodak going to be coming in yet again as we get ready to move into Assault.
Probably something really specific, you know, like Dogman playing that Nimbani A really well, finding those headshots in that choke point, and you know, as we go to a more open map heading into Assault, you know, you swap him out. We will see Enlair coming back in here as well, but this time for Airster. So a bit of a change up here. They need to keep Dako in, they need the Diva as we head into Horizon.
Yeah, going to be shifting it around. So that does kind of allude to maybe some specific strats that we're going to get ready to see here on Assault. If we take a look, Horizon will be coming through. This has been a very diverse comp map for us so far. Obviously, you know, some of those Symmetra plays that we saw come through, as well as, you know, the occasional Bastion with the Orisa.
Yeah, I feel like there's certainly the theory here may be that with Enlair coming back up, we're going to see some more Widow here.
Could be.
And it could be Torbjorn Widow, which is something that you can certainly run with Orisa. You have the crossfire between the Torbjorn turret and the Widow on the other side. So that's certainly something that we could look to see for the Atlanta Reign on defense. Well, will actually be the Torbjorn instead, or excuse me, the Bastion instead, however.
Still a turret, but he's playing as a turret instead of setting one up. That's going to be the barrier coming down to Fran.
The idea here is the same. You have the Bastion on one side and the Widow just behind it. The Widow has mobility, can flip to the other side and get headshots from behind. Very difficult to approach this with what the Defiant are currently running. They will swap it up. Reinhardt Zarya is going to be the go-to here. You're going to have to somehow get in and crush the Bastion while taking headshots from the Widow. And the worst case scenario, too, is when you finally kill him and you trade, he gets res. That's what the Mercy is here to do. Not only that, but boost damage, excuse me.
Yep, looking for the shots already. Very far forward at the moment is Dako.
See the crossfire.
That low ground.
See the crossfire here. Two different angles. They have to protect that. Reinhardt shield isn't going to last very long. They're going to have to take the outside path. Dako can track them very easily. This is just tons of time thrown away here for the Defiant. And even when they enter, already the repositioning of the Atlanta is going to make it difficult for them to get through.
Yeah, shots starting to come through, but they make their way down the staircase in onto the point. Now this is where things can get a little bit messy for Atlanta. They need to get the Fran set up here onto the high ground. Barrier not really in the best position for him. One tick already going to be gained for Toronto. Finally makes it into that turret form. Picks right back up. They do force him off for a little bit as they go for that high ground approach, trying to disrupt this Bastion. Pushing forward, Zarya bubble going to be used. The pin's going to be there. And Yakbum takes him down. Now back over onto the point. The res will come through, however. Start ticking up. Second going to be grabbed. The Fran back into the mix, but can he get set up again? Right here into the front, Coalescence burning away at him. He's still sticking through with the turret form. Mokpo gonna get taken down as he drops in. Now Dako gonna be eliminated. Configuration tank is ready, but he needs to destroy this lineup for Toronto. Only managed to find one as 8 does get eliminated. Seems like it might not be enough pushing forward. They're still keeping this one contested. Massa there with the Valkyrie trying to buy some more time. Defran will be eliminated. Ivy pounded him down. The Battle Mercy goes in, but Ivy will go ahead and pick up a triple on the back end, eliminating those supports. Now 6+ minutes here in the time bank for Toronto, who look fantastic.
Such patient play from the Defiant, wrapping around there, getting that pick onto Defran, still sticking with this Bastion. In fact here, very unusual to see this on B. They're gonna bring in the Mei here as well, and Lair subbed in potentially for this reason here, not only the Widow now, but the Mei. Gonna make it very difficult for Toronto to get a positional advantage here because of this wall. Now they're trapped.
Yep, forces them back out here, but Crab gonna be online. Pushes their way in. Envy just gonna take it out of the mech. That could slow them up for sure.
When you do a lot of damage but don't get kills, you're also feeding support ults over to the supports on the Defiant too. We're about to have 2 of those. That could be how they break through on this high ground.
Yeah, all the way into the back. Wall's gonna be coming out. Boops him off the top. Fantastically done by Dako. Disrupts them completely. The grab does come out. Massa will be taken down. Envy find that kill. Goes in for the remech. Will be able to make it back in. Bombs out. Manages to find Roki. Toronto Defiant still trying to play forward, but they haven't gotten in onto the point yet. Lair goes into the ice block, trying to stay alive. Popo getting shipped lower and lower. The Blizzard's going to be coming through. Freezing him up. Yakpung locked up here onto the point. Finds him time and again. The Fran gets the double with the configuration take. Res back into the fight. And Toronto Defiant are not going to find anything on the first attack.
There's an insane amount of sustainability in what Rain is running. They have the res for these tough-to-kill targets, including the Orisa, by the way, which is very tough to take down. Then it just comes right back up. I'm going to take a look at Defran's damage output here as well from this high ground. Envy comes in, uses Matrix, self-destructs. He's going to tank his way off, and he's got a huge angle to just blow them away. No way out with the May wall there as well. Super intelligent strategy for the Rain. This is what we expected to see on this map.
And it's just repeat.
And now Toronto Defiant has to somehow build ultimates again here while they're taking pot shots. Fish in the barrel, quite literally here.
Yep, disconnect there from Envy. Let's use the boosters, get back over the wall. Again, gonna be thrown up. Young Buck completely isolated. Fantastically done. And Roki is still gonna be committing the sound barrier to the fight. Ivy's just gonna get burned down. Roki finally goes forward and manages to get rid of the Bastion, but the res could just come through from Massa, and it will. Now Aim's gonna be taken down. This strategy from Atlanta Rain, Toronto Defiant just not ready for it.
And when we saw the Toronto Defiant have nerves last week, you know, this is the kind of strategy you want to do against a team that is going to fall apart and crumble. Isolating Yakwing, ruining one of his shatters, quite literally sending his shatter to the low ground. That first push, second push, isolates him, kills him again. Roki having trouble there, trying to save him, but getting stuck on the wall there. Sound barrier is just a moment too late. And the Defiant still don't have those crucial ultimates they're going to need here when tank configuration's already up. When these players get isolated once again by another Maywall, Defran is going to pop off. We're going to see it again. Here we go.
Luckily, they have this tiny little corner to hide in. Envy still taking so much damage, nearly gets popped out of that mech, which would have just been an end to the push.
They need to hit this before the Maywall's back up again, and they're waiting too long. It's too late. It's going to happen again. We're going to watch history repeat itself.
And this time, there's going to be the Blizzard getting ready to come through as well.
Yeah, this is not a good look for the Toronto Defiant. They're going to come on the high ground. They need to make sure they don't get isolated by that wall again.
What's the definition of Insanity Wolf? I don't quite remember. The Maywall's going to be coming up. They don't isolate anybody.
Nicely done.
Crucial.
They stay back this time.
Superchargers out. Configuration tank is ready, so if they can wait this out, then really all they have to try to break through is primarily going to be that Blizzard.
Okay, this is the chance. This is the moment. It has to be now.
That's going to be the wall coming back up. Kodak going to be taken down. Now Defran going to be eliminated. Fantastic turnaround for the Toronto Defiant. The Blizzard will come down. The bomb out from Dako manages to find Ivy. They need a lot more than that if they want to stop this push. They still haven't ticked up anything. Shadow's going to come down. Lair going to be eliminated. Rez is there for Defran. He's back into the fight, getting set up in the turret form on that top left side. Fire Strike will find him. They eliminate him, but he gets Envy out of the mech in time. Transcendence out onto the point 8, keeping everybody else topped up. Envy trying to get back into that mech. A couple more percent ready to go, and now we can go ahead and safely rejoin in with a team fight. Massa gonna be spamming away from above. Valkyrie expiring. He needs somebody to dash to, and he's got no one. Taken down. Toronto Defiant finally in onto the point, starting to get those ticks. The first one coming through, the second one on the way. Popo goes in. Pile driver down, but the shield is just not enough. They spread, so he can't get that massive HP bar, and they will take it. I believe 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining on the clock. Toronto Defiant finally bust through.
A really cool strategy from the Atlanta Rain. It bought them a ton of time, but in the end, they did play around the Maywall and get through.
Fantastically done. Let's see how they fare on the attack when we come back from the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are halfway through Horizon, or well, maybe halfway through Horizon. We know how Assault works.
You never know.
Go on for
You
a
never
while,
know.
as long as there's time in the bank. Not much time left in the bank, though, for Toronto Defiant. They were very much held up by that composition coming through. The Torbjorn with the May, the Orisa on that point B defense. Really well executed by Atlanta.
They did finally bait out the wall and to make sure that they were not caught or split by the wall. When they were grouped together as 6 after the wall went down, they had a speed boost available and a grab available. Defran was the target, and yes, reses can come through, but when your entire team is on top of the res target, I mean, Defran is going to be resurrected to die again in moments like that. Do have to give Atlanta proper credit for continuing to buy a lot of time. Actually, after the strat was over, Defran got back onto the high ground, and I did also appreciate the solo shatter there onto in layer as well to make sure he couldn't get into his ice block, because if he gets into ice block, then suddenly Atlanta has a chance to stabilize. really cool stuff there on both sides.
Yeah, Toronto just finally finding, you know, some ground to stand on there. That, as you said, the bait out on the Maywall was the absolutely crucial and pivotal point in that fight. Allowed them to actually get in. So they finished with time in the bank. 152 if my memory serves. So still a very comfortable time bank for them if we get to those OT rounds, but they're going to be looking for a very strong defense. I don't know if they're going to engineer something like this themselves, but maybe they could. You know, it was very creative from Atlanta. I would love to see it again on the opposite side for, with Toronto. Okay,
well, I think we're going to go ahead and swap the sides here and head back into the game. The big thing that I have questions about here, though, for the Reign is last time when they struggled with 3-3 was with this, with Inlair on the roster, and obviously they had Arister, so there was kind of like a bit of a, I want to say 50-50 there on Busan, but this time they have Inlair and they do not have Arister. So running 3-3 is going to be very challenging. It's great on the defense when you have opportunities to run different strats, but in terms of attack, you kind of have to go like a little bit full China, I feel like, if you're running these players for the Reign, because you don't really have a solid 3-3 lineup. And that's a problem. So, you know, they could try to run this Tracer, for example, that they're highlighting right now. But the Defiant has already shown that they could deal with this type of composition. They struggled in Widow versus Widow, but I worry for the Reign in terms of time bank here.
Well, looking like they're going to go with the triple tank Kodak over onto the Hammond. But, okay. They scout out. They said, no, none of that. Let's swap it up.
What does this look like is the question here. So Inlair, okay, on the Brigida rather than Arister is what we saw in the previous setup when we were running Inlair here, right? And he was flexed over as well. So, you know, a little bit of off-rolling here for the Atlanta Reign, and that could cost them. Roki is looking for the flank here to knock them into harm's way, but they're not going to take that approach, so he just returns.
Yep, wrap around that lower left side. Yakpung alone. Has to push back up. They nearly get the pick up there on the Kodak. Gonna shut down that push right up front. Unable to find it so far. Armor pack out from Inlair will keep him in the mix. Building up, getting that Transcendence online very rapidly, nearly at 75%. Yakpung almost going down. Leaps over to the side. Tank line here from Toronto. Very battered at the moment, so first tick going to be gained for free for Atlanta Reign as they make their way in onto the point. Toronto Defiant, they have to get in there. Bubbles out, Yakpung goes into the back line, looking for a pickup, but Kodak just takes him down. Now Transcendence going to be online. This could just be a first attack push here for Atlanta Reign to get the cap, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen as Toronto just gets swept under the rug.
They totally shut down Yakpung. There was the focus there. And Lair, you know, we were saying we might have questions about how does the Brigida perform in this case. Absolutely no questions about it thus far here on their first attack. He gets the stun. Kodak's there set up to focus him down with the rest of the team. The Discord Orb is there. Once the main tank is gone, the fight is over. Atlanta Reign could get a double cap here, an insane time bank with the ultimates they have.
Well, they're going to be looking for it. Bomb's going to be out. Dako trying to find that pick. Unable to find it. Shatter in. Onto the back. Does find a lot of members, but 8 is there with the Transcendence to keep everybody topped up. Playing forward onto that corner. Trying not to surrender anything else. Grab going to be eaten to Bren. Has that one taken away by Envy again. Answering grab coming through. The Transcendence is there from Kodak holding it for this moment. Now Sound Barrier dropped in. Matching Roki on the opposite side, but Inlair still going to be taken down as Stellar finds the first kill. Yakpung getting closer and closer to that shatter. 84% as Popo gets dropped. Seems like he'll be able to build it here in the fight, but should not need it as they go ahead and clean up Atlanta. So they do push them back, but tick going to be gained, so not the worst first attack here on point B.
You know, last time we saw the focus on Yakpung, there was really good coordination there. This time in a more fair fight, Ivy gets high energy. That's one of the things he's been able to do very consistently. You know, the grabs have been hit or miss, but in terms of bubble management, maintaining high energy and doing damage in fights, not getting caught, he's got low deaths as a result, and he wins them this fight. He's ready for another grab in 30%. The Reign are going to have to approach this with no support ultimate, so this is a scary time. This is very likely not going to be the push. This is an eco push, as we call it, to build ultimates.
Let's see, 5-13 on the clock. 1 tick gain, still very healthy for Atlanta. Push their way forward, Popo leading the charge. Shatter's going to be good, but again, the Transcendence is going to be out from A to keep everybody alive. Grab comes in, and Envy shuts it down again! Can't get anything, it would seem. Envy denying time and time again. 3, I believe, here on the day. Taking those grabs away. Defran going to have to kite his way back, trying to stay alive. Gets stunned up right at the end, and Roki will be able to scoop up the kill with a right click.
It would have been huge if A did not use the Transcendence there as well, because they'd be holding that for yet another grab. We'll see if he can maintain the damage output required to get another one before Defran gets his. And I think what you really want as the Reign here is to be careful with your support ultimates. If you use these early, then to approach the point, you're really going to have problems. Your time bank is going to go down significantly if you fail. Very risky to do that.
Oh, rally will be out from both sides. Bomb thrown into the back. Dako looking for the pick, but the shield is there from Yakpung. Is everybody alive? Grab out from Ivy, locks him in, still not finding the kills. Bomb straight in on top of him, and Envy will get a double. Pokpo and Defran both say goodnight, taken out, and that is just going to be another nice defensive hold here for Toronto.
And that was my fear, right? In this moment where Defran does not have a grab, they commit the rally to approach the point. Then we see Dako somewhat carelessly toss out the self-destruct. Defiant was easily able to shut that down. Stellar also with a really nice shield bash there to make sure that it was safe, that we did not see a charge from Pokpo to open that up. And now they don't really have any tools, so we're talking about a lot of time that's about to disappear, barring an outside pick here from Kodak or Pokpo.
See if they can engineer a push here, or if it's just going to be some ecos coming through.
Look at Ivy on the high ground. He's just doing so much damage with his right clicks alone.
Just trying to lob those right into the back line. He'll be dropping down, needs to build up that energy. Lures his way up to 70, pushing forward, looking for the kill there on a Pokpo. Not able to find it, the sound barrier will come through to help keep them alive. Shatter's gonna be out, Ivy locked up, but no one able to push far enough forward to capitalize on that for a kill. Marathon Surge gonna be locking them in, looking for the kills. Still managing to stay alive, however, no one gonna be dropped outside of Dako's back, but as I say, that Pokpo will be taken down. Stellar up into the front, dangerously low. It's playing with fire, but it seems like he will be able to stay alive. Shield up, bounces back, keeps himself in the fight. Kodak does finally manage to take him down, but will get punished for that.
And then Lair uses the rally there. You know, you could use rally before a fight, which is normally how it's used to approach, but you can also kind of use it as a pseudo sound barrier to try to give you some extra armor and sustain through the fight. That was the idea, that's why he used the rally there, but because they failed to get another tick here, the fight is a wash. Toronto massively gets more ults while they stick around, and now he doesn't have the rally. The armor is gonna fade here, so you know, small mistakes here for the Atlanta Reign are paying off in big dividends for the Defiant when they punish.
Their way forward, decent tags there onto Ivy, hiding behind the pillar. Kodak chunking him out as much as possible. Managed to build up that Transcendence in the last fight, still has that one ready to go. Pokpo looking for that shatter, the grab will go ahead and lock up into the wall. Envy throws in the bomb. Opposite side of the pillar from where you kind of want it, but doesn't really matter because Dako's not going to come up with anything with his bomb either. Now Toronto Defiant pushing forward, looking for those build-up ults here for Ivy especially. He'll manage to find Pokpo nearly to 50% for the next one.
And if we go back to those support ultimates being used earlier, now look at the advantage that Defiant holds. They have a trance and they have 86% of a sound barrier. The one moment where Defran could commit his ultimate, they're already down on time bank. The one chance they're really going to have in the next 2 minutes to win a fight, you know, with that ultimate, Defiant already has the answers. And during those ultimates, Ivy's going to build his. He's going to have the second grab. This does not look like a winnable place for the Atlanta Reign. They've got one shot at this.
Toronto Defiant looking good at the moment. Already have that time advantage, even if they cannot stop Atlanta Reign from capping this B. Shatter comes down. It's looking pretty good, but Aid again dodges out on it. Has the Transcendence. Now the sound barrier is going to be coming through. Both sides going to be matching. The grab surges out from Defran, but still no kills to be found for Atlanta to break their way in onto the point. The single tick, all that they have at the moment. And getting burned down, will be knocked out of the back. The grab surge comes in, but it only finds Defran, and Kodak is there with the Transcendence to keep him alive. Now Yakpung taken down. Defran finds the kill. Rallies out from Stellars. He desperately tries to keep everybody else alive and be going lower and lower. The cap nearly just coming through. 50 seconds remaining. Shatters out. Ivy gonna be locked up rather. Bo has the shield raised. They have to keep this one contested, but now Stellar, Roki, Aid, all the support's gonna be eliminated, and the tanks do not stand a chance. Swap over from Yakpung, instantly locked up in the grab with the friend built up, and they will be able to get the cap.
Very close call there. Absolutely nuts. They do make it happen. They knock away Ivy there. He misses his grab because he's displaced by the whip coming out from in layer. Very impressive stuff.
Sliver of time remaining in the bank there. Let's see what these guys can do in OT when we come back from the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. OT on Horizon Lunar Colony. Go ahead, take a look at some replays here. The shatter, absolutely huge from Pokpo.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Time and time again from Aid.
But look at Ivy's ult percentage here as well. He's actually building it up here in this fight. And in a moment, he actually gets knocked away. We're actually not going to get to see it, but there was a moment where Ivy was displaced, so his grab missed. That was the secondary grab I was talking about, where the support ultimates kept them through. Then he was knocked away and couldn't fight, so huge plays. We're going to see an aggressive position here for the Defiant. Very risky, no scout yet. Actually, I spoke too soon. Defran is looking.
He's trying to find him.
Would be huge if he gets picked. He sees them.
Massive. Yeah, does manage to spot them out. Knows how aggressively positioned they are.
6v5 fight, though, for the Defiant, so they need to get away.
Yeah, they'll just be jumping back with that translocator. Gets the ground, gets the Zarya ready to go. Basically kind of a grab bot.
And even though they didn't get any kills, they forced the Atlanta Reign to step back, so they burned through a lot of that bank. The very small time bank they Reign have.
Yep, 30 seconds. Still haven't really made their way over towards the point. Yakpung playing right around the corner. It's burst back up by that armor pack as he tries to fish for any charge here. Fire strikes haven't been the greatest for him yet. Gets taken down low. Will get top back up. Envy losing out on the mecha. Sun comes through. Now Yakpung, slither of HP remaining. Atlanta Reign starting to push forward. That's going to be their opening. Lair nearly gets picked off. The manages to peel back.
Low.
Defran hit the Yakpung. Envy just going to be spamming away with the pilot pistol. Stellar going to be taken down right before he can get that rally online. Envy makes it back in. The grab comes in from Ivy. Locks him up onto the wall, but they don't have anything to combine with it. Transcendence out from Aid, trying to stay alive.
Roki's got a barrier.
In onto the point. Roki does have the sound barrier, but he needs some recipients for it. He needs to give that to his teammates, but they're still running back for the spawn. Barrier out from Massa now.
Envy, no rematch.
Still no ticks coming through, but with the kills spilling forth for Atlanta Reign, they will be able to get this cap on A.
Make no mistake, this is not over yet. They have all the ults to push to B. With 1 minute on the clock, they could go all the way. We're going to get this extra burst of time. They're going to have one shot at this. Aid with no Transcendence versus Defran's Graviton Surge. This absolutely looks even, I would say, likely that we're going to see a double cap here. The Reign taking a little bit and turning it into a lot. This is their shot. They cannot mess this up. Such a huge opportunity.
That extra 30 seconds. Can it take them the distance?
There's the grab.
Go close it down. Envy not going to be able to deny that one away this time. Sound barrier's out. The bomb from Dako not going to be able to find anything. Shatter comes through. Doesn't lock anybody up. Yakpung now going to be taken down. They need more though. Kodak finds one. Dako dropping down, joins in with the rest of the squad. Stellar going to be eliminated as the Fran finds it. They're in onto the point. The first hit coming through. They have the tag in, but Aid, he's approaching, but he doesn't have that Transcendence online. 2.5 ticks now coming through. Kodak gets the pick off. Roki goes forward. They stun him up the grab in from behind, but they don't get onto the point in time.
What a crushing loss here for the Defiant. The map is not over. Well, you do not expect your opponent with 1 minute on the time bank to get the double. It was the way they won that fight, with such a crushing victory there, with more ultimates online, that leads to the double cap. In that moment, as Atlanta, you know, we've got one shot at this, and we absolutely can make it work. They had more ults in their war chest, and for Toronto in that moment, there's just nothing you can do. The grab comes in late there for Ivy. They don't tag onto the point, but make no mistake, the second A was taken. They knew they were getting B. They knew they had this advantage, and they did not mess up the attack.
And this has got to be the bounce back moment for the Defiant.
Such a
rolled over like that with just a minute. We'll go ahead and take a look at Pokepo's perspective here.
Yeah, he sets up this shatter here in just a moment.
Pinned out of that shatter.
Yep.
Stunned out of it. And then comes back and just hits him from behind. Solo onto Yakpung to guarantee that kill. Takes him down. Fantastically done. Pokepo has been an excellent main tank since his debut in Korea.
As mentioned, you know, earlier, he's leading in terms of team fight percentage as Reinhardt, in terms of damage done and stats. Check that one out with MonteCristo earlier today.
He's at like 46%.
I think it's like something like 43, but yeah, very close. Anyways,
massive amount of damage.
Now Defiant, you know, they're going to have to get a double cap basically too, because 2 minutes and 12 is a larger time bank than 1, but you need to get that crushing victory on A to get the double cap, and it just doesn't feel like if they miss this first fight, it's going to happen.
We'll have to see how things are going to transpire here as they start pushing their way up again. Aggressive, just meeting them here on the low ground is the Atlanta Reign. Try to find those pickoffs, boop over to the side, try to get that isolation there on a Pokepo, but they cannot get the kill. And they're just going to be spamming away so many members of Atlanta Reign. Dangerously low here at the moment. That's going to be the chase for it for Toronto Defiant. They look for those kills. The Fran going to be the first one taken down as Roki finds that kill. Gets him out. Dako losing all the mech as well. This is looking good for Toronto Defiance. They make their way over onto the point. 8 tagged up. Yakpung going low, but he manages to get the ult onto Pokepo. He will get punished for that, but it's still going to be a very one-sided fight for Defiant.
This is so different than what we saw just previously, though, because if you look at Kodak, he lived longer in this fight. He's got 90% of a trance. In just a few clicks, right or left, he will have that available for when Ivy has the grab. This is not the same kind of ult advantage that we saw just previously with the Rain. Toronto Defiant has a slight advantage, but this is not going to be that same type of attack where they walk through with every advantage you could think of. It's a lot more close. It's going to have to be a clutch fight here for Defiant.
Minute and a half remaining. Toronto Defiant, let's see what they can do. Need to get this cap of time in that bank, avoid the draw, try to get the victory. Pushing forward, 90% here for Ivy. Grab nearly online. Rally going to be leading the charge. Semmler pushing forward. Shatter's going to be out. Yakpung knocked to the ground, but the Transcendence is there from A to keep him alive. Graviton Surge still going to be held. Kodak, Transcendence coming through, keeping his team topped up.
Too early, though.
Late, yeah, Ivy goes ahead, throws that in as they look for the kills. The pin's there, but the sound barrier comes through from Massa to keep his team alive. Now Roki gonna be matching on the opposite side. No more ultimates available. It's just gonna be one scrappy fight. Grav actually comes in. Kodak gets a double purple, gets a pin on the Stellar, and they might have just shut them down. Still 50 seconds remaining. Toronto Defiant, though, they have to get back over this point ASAP.
Now, this is going to be so difficult to make work. The stagger here is absolutely insane. Aid, such a late respawn here. Great play by Massa. He saved the day. Kodak pressing the trans button right before the grab, but he had the follow-up sound barrier. The support line here for the Rain, keep them solid. 30 seconds to go, and this is not, you know, a tool that they don't have any tools here. Defiant does not have a set of tools to break open this point outside of a stray, straggling pick. Fran needs to step back, took a lot of damage here. He does not have a grab. He wants to get that energy up.
Ivy in a similar boat. Pretty neck and neck as far as the charge is concerned. We'll see who can get one here in the fight. As we go down to 5 seconds remaining. Bomb's going to be out. Dako looking to open things up. Not going to be able to find a pick. Got it from Popo as well. Not going to be leading to any kills. Transcendence used by Aid. Now a rally going to be out. Grab going to be online for Bren. This could be the moment to shut them down. Grab comes in. Transcendence going to be expired. Just looking for that rally armor to try to keep everybody alive. And in the fight so far, it's going to be working out. Now an answering grab comes through, locking up the members of Atlanta Rain. Blair going to be taken down. Yakpung drops a hammer. Finds a lot of members to get stunned, but they need the kills to follow up. It seems like finally they will be getting them, but they have to stay in onto the point. Atlanta Rain will have a chance to delay this. The first hit coming through. Toronto Defiant. Can they hold this all the way? Swap over onto the Tracer for Inlayer. Waiting, biding his time. Pushes through, locked up instantly. And that's going to be the cap. They managed to find it. 4-4 here on Horizon.
Very, very close call, though, and absolutely clutch plays by Ivy. Really managing that energy well, doing the damage required there when they didn't have ults. These 2 points were taken completely differently. For the Rain, it was the ult advantage they had to steamroll the double cap. But for the Defiant, it was a hard-fought battle where they had to use their mechanics alone to win it out. And it was Ivy all the way there, despite great performances from the supports on the side of the Atlanta Rain. You and I were talking about how this was going to be a great series, and I mean, it has absolutely delivered thus far. Back and forth on the first 2 maps. Now we're 4-4, tied in overtime as we head into our assault map. This very well could be a draw that sets us up for that final map to be Escort.
How far down the rabbit hole can we tumble with this? 4-4, a minute remaining. These guys have already proven that the low time banks don't really matter.
Sure.
They've been able to get those caps coming through.
Will be Rain attacking first, so setting the precedent here again, despite the equal overtime there. And that means that if they get something, you know, if they are able to do it again, do something crazy, they have this advantage that afterwards they can trip them up with defense, they can run the Bastion again. There's so many opportunities. So yeah, I think you kind of have to favor the Rain here if we're going to a 1 map rather than the draw. Will be 3-3 to attack, though. Can they make the double happen again?
Gonna be looking for it. Same amount of time. They looked good at doing it last time out. Let's see if they can replicate that success. Toronto Defiant playing up here onto the high ground to start. This fire strike from Poco rather. Will set him up nice. Get just a little bit ahead for that Earth Shatter. Wrap around, still playing up top. Seems like Toronto maybe gonna be matching them. The fire strike through from Yakpung gets a lot of mileage from that ult.
Yeah, big one. Oh, nice knockoff, though. High ground to the Rain.
Disrupts him, but can they get the kills? Yakpung right now going to be isolated. Another boom. Gets stuck on the corner, and he will get taken down. Dako moves forward with the Rockets. Manages to find the kill. And this could be cleanup, and if they go down right now, this is just going to be Atlanta being able to get the point.
Looks that way.
Kodak finds Aid. Ivy going to be taken down, and he popped out. They're going to do it again with 5 seconds remaining. Get that extra little 30-second bump. No ults necessary, and again, looking fantastic. Atlanta Reign, can they get the snowball?
It's similar, though, to what we saw when Atlanta, had their defense after Defiant's attack. Once again, Aid has 80%. There's a tiny window here. It is razor thin. But Defiant can hit this before the trance is ready, but he has to be aggro. He knows it. They can track these ultimates. These are pro players we're talking about here.
Yep. Fire Strike gonna be denied away. Would have given Puckett that Earth Shatter.
He misses the window.
Yeah, swings coming through, going lower and lower. Shatter comes down, catches him from the side, but Aid has a transcendence, but it doesn't really matter. Roki and Semmler both gonna be eliminated, even through that Zen ultimate. Graviton Surge coming down, looking for the bomb. Dako gets rid of Envy. Yakput taken out. Atlanta Reign in onto point B again in double OT. Looking for those 6 points here on Horizon, and it seems like they're gonna be getting it. Roki getting booped back, tries to tag in, but it's taken down. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll just keep on rolling through it.
Insane pick by Kodak. That is what gets them B. Otherwise, they did not hit the window I was talking about where you can hit the friend's grab before the trance is ready for Aid. And Kodak coming out with that pick onto Roki means they lose half their sustained healing. The fight is basically over in that moment. In this mirror matchup of 3-3, insanely sustainable comp with high damage output on the tanks. That's why it's triple tanks, triple support, right? Tanks do a lot of damage. They've got high health pools. Supports do a lot of healing. That's why this is the meta. But when half your healing is gone because Kodak gets that headshot, it's all over. He hits it right before the trance is able to save him. And then the Reign does it again. 2 different types of double caps. The first time with a massive ult lead. This time, they're able to do it with a single pick from the Stars and Yada player Kodak. So now, with a Defiant, this is what I was talking about. If you get the double cap, you could take a risk here.
Yep.
You could change it up.
They're
you
gonna
can
try
put
it
the
again.
Bastion, and this is very difficult to break. And if the Defiant do not run 3-3 and scout this late, they are going to be in big trouble because this is 1 minute at a time we're talking about. This is not a normal attack.
Here we go. Making it happen again. We saw Defiant struggle against this the first time out. It feels like that was another series now.
I know.
We're so far in to Horizon. 6 points capped for Reign. Defiant going to be trying to match them.
Correct composition here for the Defiant. They identified this early. You can see it's already scouted out by Roki. Will they stay? They have to make the decision now. They're going to swap.
Okay. It's going to be precious time drained away from them. Let's see what they want to go for.
He's looking for the Moira here. That's exactly how they dealt with it last time with the Coalescence bursting down to Fran. He's immobile when he's in that turret form.
It's a very fast building ultimate, but they only have 34 seconds.
Ooh, look
over
at
to the
Dako.
side, looking to get somebody taken down there. Ivy going to be isolated for a moment, and Wilkinson Dako playing on the low ground, pocketed by the Mercy, manages to find the pick. Now it's just 20 seconds remaining. Atlanta Reign starting things off fantastically.
If anybody dies, it's over. Defiant cannot be staggered here. They're still going to have one shot. Envy's going to have to stay far forward because he's going to be the one who has to tag the point, or Roki, one of the two, but only 11 seconds left. This map looks very over.
8
Dako
seconds.
again for the disruption.
Gotta get there. Yep, disrupts some, pushes them to the side. They have to go straight in for the point, but Roki is taken down. Can they tag in? Envy does manage to make it in time. They're over here onto the point, but the Fran is set up with a turret, ready to go. Envy pops out layer, manages to find the kill. The Riptire coming through, drops it in, double over to him. Yakput and Aid taken down. Now it's gonna be the cleanup. Atlanta Reign taking the lead in this series. Double overtime. They finally close out Horizon.
It doesn't get flashier than this, Achilios. What a map. So many different styles, and they are able to make it work. I'm speechless. 2 double caps in a Horizon map with 1 minute on the clock.
Fantastically done. They lead. Can they close it out? We'll find out. We come back for Escort.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.